All right, happy Friday, everybody. Yeah, this is a big one. This is our biggest and most successful giveaway. I think it's probably our best car as far as quality of the car, or I guess newness of the car. The other cars were great and had a great story, or bigger projects than this one. So I was a little afraid of the M2 doing a giveaway because there's not a ton to do to it. It was a 3,500 mile car, so there wasn't a lot of restorativeness. I didn't have to restore the thing. I just got to put some cool stuff on it, and I'd already done the cool stuff when we launched the giveaway, so I was a little nervous that you guys would support it, and I was hoping that the coolness of the fact that it's the last of the the F generation of the M2, and it's the CS version, which is the best version of the car. And I was also a little nervous because how much I hate the S55, and I think that authenticity wins out again, and that I'm just authentically sharing with you what I like and dislike about the car. And the thing that holds true is that no matter what with this thing, it's going to change somebody's life, even if you don't like the car. So Bryce, if I gave you an M2 and it's 150 grand, it would change your life, right? It would change anybody's life. It changed my life. Win a $150,000 car, or drive it for a couple of weeks and sell it. Even if you sold it at a deep discount, still a life-changing thing. And so, if we back up a little bit and sort of explain, because I know that many of you are probably new to the podcast. The podcast, we do this every Friday at 2 p.m., and I'm always just spilling my guts, sharing with you probably too much. And so the giveaway thing goes back to a simple concept in that lots and lots of people do giveaways, lots and lots of influencers, and now there's companies like Omaze that do nothing but that. So I didn't want to do it like everybody else did it. I wanted to do it my way, and my way has been buy a car that I wanted to buy, decide, oh shoot, I don't want to keep this forever. I can't sell it. If I do, I'm going to sell it for 50% of what I have into it. And so how could I figure out a way to engage people, be very honest about this is not like a charity thing here. This is a way for me to buy a car, experience it, share that car with everybody, get the personal engagement I get from what that car, the people that it connects me to, and then hopefully sell enough stuff that you would value if you didn't win to get out of the car with maybe a few bucks in the positive. Now, we call it positive. This car theoretically made $150K or something like that, but who knows how much I had to pay Mike and Bryce and Brad and the warehouse team. That's the part they don't really quantify. So the general theme here is to hopefully it pays dividends over the long term by finding new people, and like the Civic certainly found me new people that are probably here watching that otherwise wouldn't have found us. And so it's a win for everybody. It's fun for me to do. It's something I would like to do. It's a way for me to make it a profitable business venture. It's a way for you to get hopefully some cool stuff, because there's only one person's going to win. And it just becomes a win-win for everybody. And it has continued to do well. This one has inspired me to start to maybe do some bigger cars. I want to do an NSX, a Gen 2 NSX. I would love to do a 997 GT3. I think that would be really cool. Maybe even do like a slightly higher mileage one, so I'd have a bigger project to restore. And maybe I'd love to do a Lotus Emira if I can get one of those. I think that would slay. Just cars that I really want to experience. The interesting thing about my giveaways is that I haven't done one where other than my E92, where I'm like, I need to go get another one. So it's been like a chapter in my life that I felt like I needed to write and then complete. The M2, I needed to buy that and complete that chapter. The Civic was going back into an old chapter of my life and then completing that without a budget. That was a expensive one. The E36, I thought for sure I was going to keep the E36 forever. I'm learning that I'm not a collector, and no matter how much money I had, I doubt I would collect. I love the chase, and once the chase is caught up to, now what? It's time to move on. So I'm sitting on a darn gold mine. My E36 is awesome. We'll do another giveaway. So let's review how this thing worked. So I talked a little bit about it. It's always good to go sort of back to the rules and explain how this works. So every $5 that was spent gets an entry, right? So every $5 is an equal entry, right? So Bryce's $5 is not worth any more than Mike's $5 versus my $5. So if you bought a $2,000 jack, you didn't get any better entry. You just got 1,000 entries, right? Wait, what was my math? 200 entries. No, 400 entries. I'm trying to do math on the fly. I swear I have an engineering diploma somewhere. Oh, Chris took it off the wall. No, it's no longer valid. So you get 400 entries of equal value for that $2,000 purchase. But you can't purchase an entry that's worth any more than the other. So I have some stalkers that are convinced that we're doing something that's illegal. And then you can technically mail in an entry card, but you're a real douchebag loser if you do that. So that is equal to spending $5. That's how this can work. The lottery thing can work. All of our HEX membership renewals or new purchases during this time frame, not infinite renewals forever, but all HEX members, HEX and HEX Plus, every $5, so a $60 entry. Help me with the math there. Got 12 entries, right? Yeah. So I'm messed up in the math here. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people here. There's a lot of pressure. I'm surprisingly not nervous. Some of the other ones, I was shaking. Our early ones, Bryce, probably because I thought it was going to explode. I don't give a crap now. It's like old hat. So I'm excited to call somebody and change their life. I think it's going to be cool. So all HEX memberships and HEX Plus memberships, every $5 they spent, got an entry. Only USA residents, excluding Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, and the other United States territories, so excludes those. But the 50 continental states, including Alaska and Hawaii, and dear Lord, I hope somebody from Alaska or Hawaii doesn't win, but they could. And if they do, there goes all that profit, right? I'm going to have to figure out how to get it there. Also, Canada, excluding Quebec, because Quebec has some odd lottery rules where you can't do it. I have to bond in the state of Florida and New York, so we post bond. And even though I have aftermarket parts, because the way this works is that the winner is going to get a 1099 on by January 31st of next year for this year's tax year. They're going to get a 1099 for, I believe, $85,000. That was the retail MSRP of the car, because you could make an argument that the aftermarket parts aren't worth squat. If I were to sell that car, I'd probably sell it for something like that. And so we try to choose a number that's justifiable, that's reasonable, that is to keep the tax burden. It means I get less of a write-off, but it means that the tax burden is less onerous on the owner. And because of our audience is generally above average intelligence, above average income. I don't do like money included, so we tried that once. It really doesn't help, because then you have to pay tax, an infinite loop of paying tax on the cash. So I would rather spend the money on the car, do a better car, than including some cash value. So whoever wins this thing, if you don't have a lot of money and you need to pay the tax, sell some parts off of it, or sell the car to pay the tax. But you could postpone that all the way, extend your return, and keep the car for a year. Keep it till September, and file an extension, and then sell the car. So you could have it for a while and then sell it and use that to pay the tax, or figure something out there. So the winner has the option to come here. Many have come here, and I may have been known to to fill the trunk up with some stuff if that happens. Save me a bunch of money, so you can come here and drive it home. So I think more than half the people have done that. A guy came from New York. The guys do one in Florida. They've all been guys, by the way. So maybe a girl would win this time. That'd be cool. And you have to be 18 or older to win. So pretend it was your mom or something, if you win this thing. So most of our items have shipped. The coffee bundle hopefully will be arriving here. It pains me to have a coffee bundle. We've sold a zillion coffee bundles. And I'm pretty sure you guys have been telling me this is like legit OG spec coffee, right? This isn't some tchotchke nonsense. This is like world-class, very subjective, but like world-class stuff. So that's why I let them do it, despite my dismay for this. I'm sure there's some straggling shirts and stuff like that, but we did this one, we've done the best job we've ever done of trying to stay stocked and shipped. But if your stuff hasn't shipped, it's because we're waiting on something specific to ship out your orders. No, you cannot send an email and cancel because you didn't win. I mean, I need everybody in order to fund this deal. So you're going to lose that dispute. So don't even go there. So that's the skinny on the on the deal. I'm going to hold you guys here for a while. So before I announce the winner, I want you to experience what it's like to do a Friday afternoon podcast with us. So a couple things we have coming up. Brad did a good job making me some notes here, keep me on track. Black Friday's coming. So what's the Black Friday deal? So 10% off free shipping.
Free shipping over $200.
Over $200,
yes.
Right? And it counts not Rupes polishers.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Rupes polishers are excluded. I think everything else is good to go. Even Sabre cabinets. Most of Sabre cabinets are good except for a couple of like closets or something like that because they don't have a lot of stock. So Sabre's good.
Nussbaum is out.
Sonic's good. Nussbaum is not. So Nussbaum and Rupes are I believe the two things that are excluded. It'll all be on the site. You'll know what's excluded. It won't pop up in the cart. If you're a Hex member or a Hex Plus member, if you're a Hex Plus member, which means you paid $240 for the year, you still get your free shipping, but priority. We always pull the Hex Plus orders first. And Hex gets an extra 5% off. So some stuff I'm going to lose some freaking money on. Milwaukee is also included. So we're going to lose a bunch of money on that, but Milwaukee is all part of the deal. I'm hoping that net of our sales and stuff, we can end up in the positive on the Milwaukee stuff. You're going to have to understand that this is we sell millions of dollars of stuff in a new startup company here. We have a very efficient process, but just know your orders. The earlier you get your order in, the quicker you're going to get your stuff. So if you wait, it usually takes us about 11 days to catch up. That's been our historical average. It'll probably be about the same this year unless we sell 2 or 3 times more. So just be prepared. Please be patient. Our tech support will be on call, available. Designs. If you're doing some big stuff, we'll have lots of big garage designs as well. Where people will be paying. That also can be counted in this deal. So reach out to the design at obsessedgarage.com, support at obsessedgarage.com. Just be patient, and we're going to be live streaming and sharing with you how we're doing and what's going on and trying to remind you of it. So super exciting for us. It's the only sale per year we do. The next giveaway will start on the E36. We're going to have some really cool stuff. This is the most prepared we've ever been for a giveaway. This is the coolest car I think we've ever done on the giveaway. But this January 15th to February. Is this a leap year this year?
January 12th to February 28th.
Okay, January 12th to February 28th is going to be the E36 giveaway we're about to make. We're going to make a pretty cool documentary like we did on the E92. We'll also have the G80 here to kind of show you, the modern take on Technoviolet. It's going to be really cool. So that will start, and it'll be the same thing where we'll have 50 or 60 or different products that are very specific to the giveaway, because I can't cannibalize other sales and give away a $150,000 car. We'll do an accounting, but I think I am about the same amount of money into the M2 as I am into the E36. So, and we'll try to devalue it so that way we can give you sort of hopefully an appropriate 1099, because if I tried to sell that car, I couldn't sell it for $150,000. So and then Destination OG is killing it. You're gonna have to go to destinationog.com and look at the weeks. If you want any prayer of booking a week at this place, you want to start planning ahead, or go grab one of the few weeks that are available. You'll see it, in green that are available. It's really not bad going there in the winter. It doesn't snow there very often, so your likelihood of losing out on in snow, and if it does snow, it'll last a day or two. The winters are pretty great. I'm going to be doing the outdoor kitchen in hopefully February. We're doing the closets in January. The bunk room stuff should arrive in March, but we'll have the bunk room pretty ready to go before the bunk, so we can just install the bunk room furniture. But Destination OG is so cool, and I'm so humbled by how my cockamamie scheme has been received by the world. It makes, now that you see it, it makes perfect sense, right? It just makes sense that something like this could exist. So yeah, I'm really excited for the people that get to go and experience it. And then the car, the G80 M3, is here. Well, it's in South Carolina. It'll be here probably either early to late next week. I'll start detailing, modifying. That's going to go up there December 15th. So the weeks after that, it'll be available to borrow as an additional expense. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to cost, but somewhere around $1,000 for the week for a $110,000 pretty special G80 is going to be pretty sick. And it'll be just like the house, where the car is not going to be like just a regular car. I'm going to have it set up Matty spec, so it's going to be better. It's going to sound better and all that stuff. So I think let's do this. Let me draw. Let's draw the winner. I'll call the winner, and then we'll just host a regular podcast. I'll answer your questions. So make sure you're put your questions in here. Let me see if there's anything specific giveaway that I should answer before that. Did you see anything in there? I think El Jefe is about right. Probably $25K in taxes, depending on how much money you make. If you make 400, now you're going to be making 485, and so you're going to be in the upper marginal tax bracket, so you're going to have to pay more. Yeah, so that's about. Looks like I answered most of the questions here from you guys. So put other questions if you want to. We'll go to normal podcast mode after we draw the winner, and you see if we can get them on the phone and all that stuff. So let's pray for. My prediction was Minnesota. What was Kate's? What did Kate say it was? I forget what she said it was.
Did she say New Jersey?
Yeah, she said New Jersey. Ryan said New Mexico. Right. What's your prediction, Bryce? Who's your pick?
Let's go Canada.
No. I want somebody from Canada to win, but I'm so afraid of how we figure out how to get that there. What about you, Mike?
All the way over.
Drive it up with Figueroa and spend some time in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say California.
California.
Stats back that up.
California and Texas.
Yeah, stats would. Yeah, California and Texas would back it up. Yeah.
I'm feeling North Carolina.
Ooh, North Carolina. That would be cool.
Going to the mountains where it belongs.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got to do here? How does this work? So Viral Sweep is the application that Bryce helped develop with the app developer on Shopify. It pulls in all of our sales, gives people entries. Then we have to do some manual entry of inside the hex, any mail-in entries, all that kind of stuff. So it's clean, it's organized, it's structured, it's perfect. And so anybody who had entries is appropriately entered. So you can take that with confidence. It's 99% of the entries are from the the regular sales of the product, which pulls right from our Shopify sales, and then the inside the hex is a separate app, but we can easily export that, and then we keep a very organized, structured, organized of the mail-in entries. We get these weird old ladies that like decorate envelopes, which doesn't count. You can't do that. It's explicitly in the rules. You have to send a 3x5 note card, and then we make fun of every single person that does that. So you don't want to be one of those people. So I hope one of them never wins. But the odds of them winning is generally small, because most people aren't spending $5. They're generally spending hundreds or thousands in some cases. What was our biggest? Do you know what our biggest percentage person was?
Yeah, we had a guy, and he's based out of Florida. He has like 1.3% of all.
Okay, so our top purchaser has like a 1.3% chance.
Which is the most even giveaway we've ever had.
We had some giveaways where someone had like 10-12%, I think, that bought something substantial. And so we have a very even distribution. We had, I think, like 4,000 participants, like actual human participants. And we had good odds to win this thing, and something like I don't remember the amount of entries, doesn't really matter, but because it's a multiplication of the $5 spent. But Yeah, so let's do it. So viral sweep pulls from all of that. This is a random number generator. We have one winner. That's what we're choosing, and this winner could be anywhere we talked about, and it's from all entries. And so Bryce has worked on this. Part of the reason why we wait a week or so we can audit it and make sure it's accurate. So my prediction was Minnesota. Let's see if Ryan's right. Somebody in New Mexico.
Keep going. Keep to the right.
Where is it? There it is. Okay. You ready? You nervous? I'm not. So this is going to spit out their first and last name initial.
And then I'm going to verify that they are. We're going to just double check that they're valid before you call them.
Okay. Here we go. Boom. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, no. Click again. You have to click in the window.
Okay, there we go. That click could have changed somebody's life, right? That double click there could have messed it up. Come on, Florida. If Florida wins, I'm going to go to jail. Come on, Florida. Come on, Florida. Come on, Florida.
I wanted to leave.
Here we go. Please not British Columbia.
John something.
John period?
Pull up.
Okay, so now off screen, he's going to pull it up. So John, very common name. Why is it John period? John doesn't have a last name? Okay.
John, his last name cool? His name
Let's not share his last name. Just give me initial, and I'm going to call him. That way no one... John S?
John S.
Looks like a hex member.
Where is he?
Looks like a hex member.
He's in Michigan.
Michigan. It's an M.
Somebody said that.
Michigan.
John S. in Michigan. Okay. And then
I can give you his phone number right here. Obviously, don't say
So yeah, no conspiracy here that it's not another Florida winner. All right. Is he a hex member? What did he? First of all, before we call him, what did he buy? A T-shirt?
Hex member. He bought a single T-shirt.
Oh my gosh!
He
bought one T-shirt.
One XL T-shirt.
Has he bought anything else from us?
This is his only purchase.
Oh my gosh!
This is his only purchase ever.
So.
That minimal T.
Wow. That's like the dude who bought the beanie who won the garage. Okay, so let's try to call him and let's see if we can get this. Let's see if he's only bought one thing, he might not even be like a real fan. He might just might not even know who I am. Like who is this? So let's see. This is probably not legal where we call people without their consent, and put them live.
You gotta tell them
They do it on the sweepstakes shows.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll take that risk. Okay. Speaker. Yeah, we need the story here. We'll try to leave him a message, and then if he doesn't answer, because it's gonna be a weird phone number. Make sure I keep his phone number off the screen here. And then maybe he'll call me right back.
This is John Santa Ana's voicemail.
Well, there's his last name.
Leave a brief message with your name and number, and I'll call you back as soon as I can.
Well, now he's
At the
exposed.
tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, John, this is Matt Moore. I'm in Obsessed Garage. Could you give me a shout back when you get a chance? This is my cell phone showing up in your voicemail. So give me a call as soon as you can. I had something to ask you. Okay, so we'll see if he calls us back here. So, now he knows his last name, but we just whatever. Who cares? So, yeah, Michigan. So that's going to cost me a pretty penny to ship it up there, but at least it's not, not like Newfoundland or something crazy where I got to ship it there. So,
Rochester, Michigan.
Yeah. So, yeah. If he doesn't answer, pick again. We did that on the where did I do that on? Where the garage giveaway where I called the dude. I'm like, oh, sorry, you don't have a garage. You're out. See ya. Yeah, so you would think it's spam because it's a weird name, but that's pretty cool. So he bought a T-shirt. That's what a random number generator does. So he bought the specific shirt, and he had were the shirts marked up a little bit? So it was
smidge, yeah, like $5.
Yeah, so it was like $30. So he had 6 entries. So he had like a, let's see, like a, if you just say we had,
So he would have had 7 entries out of roughly 100,000.
yeah, so he had like a 0.07% chance, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, well, we'll see. He might call me back here, and so I'll nurse this this giveaway here, or this giveaway announcement, and answer some questions. So if you have some questions about detailing and whatever else we talk about. So let's talk a little bit about next year, what my plans are, what I'm working on. Talk a little bit about the vision of that. One of the things I'm doing here at HQ as we make this transition to a proper organization, and we've been spending a lot of time on our whole staff on writing our future and figuring out what is our what is our 10-year vision? What are we planning to do, and and what are we planning to create? So I think that that our likelihood next year of focuses, well, one would be our transition to having some international distribution. So going to Canada, I think is a big step for us. So Canadian distribution would be a big step. I'm really interested in hopefully continuing to develop the Press-All stuff and get warranty, get those things out into the wild, into be able to wholesale them and really sort of warranty and get those right, get them perfected, or at least start to head more toward the perfected version of them, because I want to be able to start offering a curated product line. So a Obsessed Garage product line that is not my product, but it's curated, but it's in a bottle that matches. And so that's part of the intent there is to be able to create that and then take that all over the place. And then continue to develop Destination OG, possibly start to work toward Destination OG 2, and to figure out how to execute on that. So I think next year is going to be great. We're going to do a lot of cleanup in the back end of the business as well. I'm currently, we're likely going to have Chris migrate toward more of like operations. And so I'm currently going to look for either a controller or CFO. It would probably be more controller with the evolution toward CFO. So I'm going to be looking for somebody that has expertise in inventory management and forecasting and budgeting, and so if you're interested in that, that will be a sort of an executive level position. And then of course I'm looking for a business like office manager / executive assistant. So I'm looking for that role as well. So we're going to shore up the business side of the business. We're doing $20+ million in sales, and we'll probably double that over the course of the next couple of years, with a 10-year target to do 150 million plus. And so there's going to be lots of opportunity, and we're doing lots of manufacturing of products, partnering and contract manufacturing of products. Creating a cabinet line, our deionization solution, and about 100 other things, and deepening on some of our relationships, some of our manufacturers of things, and having exclusivity, and then start wholesaling a lot of different products. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm going to need a lot of expertise as well over the the course of the next few years. But I think 2023 is going to set us up for that, because I do think it's going to be a rough calendar year for economically, and so I'm hoping we can be largely insulated from that and continue to chase, but that chase I think will help us insulate us largely. So yeah, the winner was picked. If you're just joining us, John S. in Michigan. I called him, left a message, so hopefully he'll call me back before we end this podcast. Couple of questions, super chats. Spencer asked, being a G-Technic accredited installer, can you talk about the coating on the E36 M3 yet? No, I cannot. So the coating is CSL. It's the topper that I have it's in an embargo, so I have an NDA that I can't talk about it other than saying it's frickin' fantastic. And you'll be excited as a G-Technic user. Tool Wrangler, which is, he says, draw $100 Tool Wrangler prize pack, consolation prize, courtesy of me. Love what you do, Matt. So Tool Wrangler is our friend up in Calgary who makes the little Milwaukee clip things. I think, yeah, all my guys left, so I can't, I'm technologically illiterate, so I don't think I can do that, but we're going to be bringing that product in so we can share with people how the product works, and I'm going to be digging into that here soon. Let's see. Question for the podcast: why don't more people do Euro delivery? Do I still have to woo a dealer to give me an allocation, or does Euro delivery bypass needing an allocation? So BMW has discontinued Euro delivery. Porsche still does it. I believe AMG, Mercedes still does it. The reason why I've never done Euro delivery, other than the expense and the travel, is that I don't want to jack up my car. And so Porsche's a little different because you bring it back to, I believe, Stuttgart, but BMW had it where you would drop it off at there's like 3 or 4 different ports, and you just leave it in the parking lot. And I don't like that. And then driving around town, a lot of people end up with damage, and then you have lots of hands touching the car. I just didn't like the idea. But the BMW thing was great because you could set it up to where you did Euro delivery. And back in the day, there were lots of dealers that would sell M cars at invoice, or let's say $1,000 above invoice. And then you would you get a 7% discount for taking Euro delivery, which basically paid for your trip over there. And then you could do and have the car delivered from there to the Performance Delivery Center for free, and do like the whole Euro delivery, and the whole experience was super cool. And they discontinued that with COVID, and I think they probably just decided to stop doing it. So that's why I don't do Euro delivery. I don't want to jack up the car. But to get an allocation, allocations I think are going to be very easy to get here as the car market kind of disappears, or the car buyer disappears when the going gets tough here, or largely disappears. So I think getting an allocation on an M3 is not super difficult. M2 will not be super difficult, but on all the GT3 stuff, it's nearly impossible. And I think you can get Huracans, you can get R8s, you can get a lot of those cars pretty easily. Let's see. What's your honest opinion? Is CS worth the price over the comp? It's certainly worth the retail price over comp, so what a comp would say would be like high 60s, low 70s, depending on how you optioned it out, where the CS was mid to high 80s. That was, I think, absolutely worth it with the carbon roof, the carbon hood, the carbon accents, all those things you would have to put on the car, the ability to do carbon ceramic brakes. So I think it was worth it, but to pay $120 or $110 like I did for mine, if you were going to buy it, keep it, and didn't have, because you didn't have some extenuating circumstance like I have, then I don't think it would be worth spending $30,000-$40,000 over a used comp. But it is, it's really nice. If you were an M2 lover and you're going to keep this thing for a long time, then I think it would probably be worth it, So let's see. What other questions did you have? Matt, I sent in a note card, but I spent $400. Am I still cool? Nope. I don't like that. Let's see. Is the career page up to date? It is not. we don't have like the CFO controller on there, but we are looking for a couple of hourly type warehouse support. You never know. Make a call or send an email, and we'll see if maybe we can figure something out. If maybe you're overqualified, every single person who came here came into a position that they're overqualified for, and eventually we found the spot. Let's see. The winner was from Michigan. Let's see. Where do I apply? So if you're talking about, executive assistant, controller, CFO, those kind of things, just email me, Matt@obsessedgarage.com. Email your resume, or maybe we'll set up a time to talk if you really think it's something you'd be interested in doing. So if John doesn't call back, then I guess we'll redraw, but I'm sure we'll get a hold of him at some point. So I'll give it a week or so before that happens. So I suspect I'll be getting a call here. It's probably at work, like most of you probably are. Let's try him one more time. Let's see if we can get him. Maybe he'll pick up.
He already has a BMW, so.
Oh, did you look him up on Facebook or something?
Yeah, we looked him up real quick to see where he
Yeah.
was.
Uh-oh. People are going to get mad. He's a rich guy, has a BMW already.
Got a pretty nice house.
Yeah.
Did you want to do the Tool Wrangler thing? They wanted to give away $100 prize. Or?
Yeah, we can do that. Should I just keep calling? I'll call him like 5 times, see if he's like, who is this?
Stop calling me.
Yeah, let's try him a couple of times. So nobody guessed Michigan.
There's a lot of Michigan people in Florida. It's like proxy, it's Florida.
Yeah.
This is John Santa Ana's voice.
No, let's try him again. Let's just annoy the crap out of him. Oops, I don't want him on the MacBook. We've done some runner-up prizes in the past. Let's see. There's another John S. If I'm not calling you. Yeah, not Jon Snow. All right, let's see what other questions. Thoughts on Built Hamper products? We haven't really dug in them too much. I mean, Bryce has used a bunch of them. Of course, our friend John at Forensic Detailing has been sort of the pioneer of of talking about those products. I really, really like the paint prep stuff. It's not isopropyl alcohol based. I'd love to find out what it is. I'm sure he wouldn't tell us exactly, but I'd love to find that out. Oh shoot! My phone I thought someone was calling. Nope. Come on, John. We want the payoff here. What was I talking about? Built Hamper. Yeah. So you're just gonna play with a bunch of the stuff and see. Continue to talk to him about how we can get involved with the product line. I don't think we would probably do another E92 giveaway. That would be like 5-10 years from now maybe, but I don't think I'd do another one of those anytime soon. Expected year or date for the G80 M3 giveaway, that might be sooner than later. We'll see. We'll see how it goes up there in Helen, but I would love to turn those cars over quickly. And so I've already talked to BMW Wilmington, and Tom Walsh is my friend there, and so I talked to him about getting an M2. No, that's not him. I talked to him about getting. I never have my ringer on, but I put it on just for this. Don't have ringers on, people. You're not like 90. Don't do that. So yeah, the G80 would be a candidate for it. Let's see. What was he talking about? Let's go back up here. Planning to do a JDM giveaway. Well, I mean, I guess technically the NSX is a JDM, but yeah, no crappy Skylines. I don't like that garbage. Let's see. I already answered about the CS. We've called him 3 times, so he must be busy doing something. Yeah, Adams does have the 2.0. That's part of the long-term plan, so that's good. giveaway cart idea. Option in the cart to add 10% to purchase purely for $5 entries. That way all items on the site count for the giveaway. Run idea by the lawyer. That's not a bad idea. So he's saying that every, just in the cart, give people the option to enter the giveaway.
It'd be hard to track. Doing a 10%.
No, like it'd just be like $5 entries, right? So you can add digital entries, to your order. That's not a bad idea. That'd probably be pretty subscribed to. A picture of the car. This car could be yours. Add as many giveaways as you, entries as you, $5 entries as you want. It would make the odds worse for people, but hopefully make me some more money to buy some more cars. The cool thing about these is that many of you spent 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 bucks, and you got something that hopefully, like, you got a nice shirt. I'm telling you, the shirt that you have will be the best shirt that you own, and doing so, I just think it's a win-win for everything. Is it a waste to get a coating on a daily driver if you deal with Minnesota leather and live on a dirt road? I don't think so. I think that'd be a strong case for doing a coating to your car. Maybe you don't worry so much about the correction part of it, but it would make it way easier to clean, to wash. Let's see. Any future is giving the EU36 away next. Yes. I'm seeing some. This is Car Enthuse says I'm seeing some detailers move away from wash mitts to using 5 or 6 microfibers and not using a rinse bucket. I know this is an old method, but still gaining traction. Is it really better? I mean, in some ways, it's a better solution. You aren't revisiting the bucket. You would fold the towels in eighths, and the towel there's some pros and cons to using the towel, but I think that it's a very valid single bucket method, and I find it to be a lot messier. I prefer to do a simple 2-bucket method because I don't tend to scratch cars doing that, but especially if you have a really finicky car. Using that in combinations with some pre-rinses, snow foams, things like that could be really beneficial. So I don't know that I'd say it's gaining traction. It's been around a long, long time. It's sort of generally revered as the if you were doing it in rinseless, would be the Gary Dean method. But it is a valid way to do it. Let's see. Troy Reed asks, have you started looking at racing and flight sim stuff for Destination OG? I'm glad to help with the flight sim side as a pilot. Yeah, Troy, I mean, I really still have my heart set on the Simcraft. It's doing one of those real fancy ones. I'm going to reach out to them. They're on my list of people to contact after SEMA. And we'll see about that. There was a super chat here. Where'd it go? And then we'll do the drawing for Tool Wrangler. Let's see. When will we see the new quick disconnect for MTM phone cannon, and when can we buy it? It's right here. It's freaking awesome. If you haven't seen this, I posted this on Instagram. So my friend Rusty, who his main business is they arm helicopters, but in the downtime, him and his engineers come up with cool car stuff, and so this new stainless version with a completely new design of sort of single, we call it single-handed operation. The threads are better. It doesn't back out. It is freaking incredible. It's going to be, I think, about the same price because we're going to buy a lot more of them. I don't know if Tommy's nailed it down. We were hoping to have it. I mean, it's sitting here for a reason. Do we have it like a pre-order yet?
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I think we're pretty close.
So we're going to have these like in December, January. So they're going to be,
End of year.
yeah, they're going to be pretty available. And this one will replace the previous gen. So it'll be on the store. I'll share the heck out of it once we get it going there. So you can take that to the bank. We're going to sell a bowl of them, but they're going to be somewhere around $125, $135, something like that. Let's see. Go back up here. Would you consider a runner-up prize? Well, we're going to do a $100 runner-up prize. So this would be for DeWalt or Milwaukee Tools, Tool Wrangler, and also He has the air tool holder thingy, the little air that accepts the plug from any type of air tool for hanging from either racks or cabinets or a like a workbench or something like that, a tool cart. So go ahead and click it for me, Bryce. Give me a winner.
There we go. Move it over here. This is not for the BMW.
Yeah, this is not for the car. This is for $100.
For the
Yeah.
$100. So, and
So think this person could have.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You could have won.
Yeah, winner was John S. He hasn't called me back yet. Just to update you, he's in Michigan. So I've left him a message, called 3 times. So we'll see if we need to. He bought a T-shirt, by the way. Okay. So you'll email him.
Yeah, I'll send him out an email.
Okay. You sure it's not a girl? Oh, Dusty. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Destiny.
Oh,
I'm like, that sounds like a girl's name. So Dusty is, where is he?
Let's see.
We'll look that up. Let's see. What other questions? Why don't you just text them? Good freaking idea, Jason. I'm an idiot. Let me do that. Yeah. Sometimes the simplest things elude me, especially when you're live. How many people are watching this thing? Did everybody drop off after? It's like 700.
750.
Yeah.
We're up to 1,600 earlier.
Hey. All right. I can't do this ringer thing. It's got to go on silent. Hey, John. This is Matt Mormon. Obsessed Garage. What should I say? Would you
He's in Wisconsin.
would you quit doing whatever you are currently doing and call me now?
You want to hear something funny?
What?
John has an M2CS.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my gosh. You found it on Instagram?
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
He already has one. It's the blue one.
That's all right. I said, hey, John, this is Matt Mormon, Obsessed Garage. Would you quit doing whatever you're currently doing and call me now? He's blue, so that means he's not some android Neander mouth breather. Let's see.
Wow, that's hilarious.
That's funny. Well, that's why he bought a shirt. Did he buy the CS shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. He's like, well, yeah, I'll just get an entry and yeah. He's gonna be all mad. He's already a rich guy. Oh, here we go. It's calling me. Hey, John.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, man?
So, you're live on the podcast, and
Oh, wow.
you had a 0.07% chance of winning another M2CS, but I'm going to be sending my M2CS up to Michigan if that's all right with you.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
Bryce has been
This
Facebook
is,
stalking you and Instagram stalking you. So you already have a CS, and now you have 2 CSs?
I do. I honestly, I went to the site because I wanted to get the shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So I got the shirt. I got another one. Are you kidding me?
No joke,
Here's
dude.
the cherry on top, man.
Yep, no
Today's
joke.
my birthday.
Oh.
You gave me the best birthday present ever.
Oh, shoot, dude. That's awesome. Well, happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness! I never win anything, man. I never win anything.
That's so cool. Yeah, so you have a what's the blue color called?
It's a Misano blue metallic.
Yeah. So you have the and you have the bronze wheels?
I have the
Yeah,
bronze gold wheels.
Yeah, cool.
It has it doesn't have the carbon ceramics. It's the
Right,
only
right.
option
Yeah.
I don't have.
Yeah. Well, now you got them.
Manual.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Well, that's so
Oh my God.
That's so cool.
I gotta say though, if I was gonna do anything to my CS, it's exactly how yours is gonna be.
Well, now you'll have a conundrum to keep 2 of them, or sell 1 of them, or sell 1 to pay the tax. Yeah, that's so.
Oh my goodness!
You can glean off products from one car to the next. It's like one could be a donor car. That's freaking cool. That's awesome, dude.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! This is unbelievable. I saw the number calling me, and I was kind of in between things. And
so, I don't know why I didn't think of it. Somebody on the podcast said, "Why don't you just text him?" I said, "Yeah, that's a freaking good idea." And so I was like, then I figured I'd joke, and I said, "Stop doing whatever you're doing and call me right now." That's cool, man.
That is awesome, man. Oh my God, you've made my day. You've made my year. This is fantastic.
That's sweet. Well, here's what I'll let you gather yourself after the podcast. I'll give you a call and we'll chat about logistics and all that. You can call some friends and family and tell them you got a new car. So I'll give you a call in like an hour or so and we'll figure it out.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks, bud. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
That's how it's done, Bryce. I always love an interesting story, like and clearly somebody who appreciates the car because they freaking have one. Now I'm sure that disappoints a lot of people because he already has an M2CS, but I don't give a crap. I think that's freaking cool.
He might just sell his and keep this one.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, whichever ones he likes better, and yeah, that's freaking cool, man. I like that a lot. So, and it's his freaking birthday. And he sounds like a good dude, I can just tell. So that's freaking awesome. Yeah. So let's see what other questions you guys have. So that was good. So we got to complete the story, and we get to figure out if he wants to come down or ship the car up or whatever. I mean, a lot of people in Michigan, what they do is they just drive these kind of cars in the summer, and they winterize. So yeah, everybody's lame. Angry. This sucks. Yeah. He just wanted a sick minimalist tee, and he got himself a shirt. So that's freaking cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, rules say 48 hours if you didn't answer, redraw. So yeah, sorry, too late. Let's see here. Let's see, any other questions we go? I've kind of lost my train of thought here. Yeah, too bad the BBS wheels you have don't fit the M2C. Yeah, it really only fits. It's because there's no drop center on those BBS wheels that I have, the RIDs. So I don't know what the heck I'm gonna sell them to somebody dirt cheap or something for like a regular. They fit perfectly on a regular M2. So let's see. I think that's about all I got. I was gonna do a normal pod. I need to come up with something. Yeah. I've still got 700 people here. Let's use this, Bryce. Give me some questions, people. Let's get me on track here. Ask me some questions. Now that we've taken care of the giveaway, give me some philosophical. Get me on some sort of rant or something. Ask me some philosophical questions about life. Yeah. I was saying looking forward to E36 and lower shipping costs to Canada. Yeah. He's mean lower shipping costs to Canada products, but yeah, if I had a Canadian distribution center, it might be lower shipping to get the thing there. Did you see or try the 0 degree socket wrenches at SEMA? I didn't see those. Let's see. Will spacers work for BBS wheels on the M2C? No, the problem is the front caliper is too close to the wheel center, and so it's like a sheet of paper, and so when you get any kind of deflection, it freaking jacks it up. And so the BBSs wouldn't fit on John's CS either, because he still has, even though he doesn't have the carbon ceramics, he still has the red brakes, which are still the same size. Jason keeps trying to get me on this COVID vaccine thing. I'm not going there. I don't want to hack off 50% of the population, no matter which way I do it. Neil White says, talk about politics. That's a terrible idea. I don't know enough about it to have that conversation. Jason EDC says, what day are you expecting the G80? It's at my friend Richard's house now. She's sitting in his garage. Bubba, my shipper from Spear Towing, is going to go get it, but he has to try to schedule it so he can bring it down here. Let's see. Has Kyle got his R32 yet? This weekend he's going to get. So what did he get? A 5th gen or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark 5, R32.
Yeah.
It
Gotcha.
had like 30. No. Does it have 38,000 miles on or something?
That's low.
It's low mileage, like well maintained. Probably like one of the better ones in the upper states.
Troy asks, thoughts about the Carrera T. I mean, lots of people love the Carrera T. I don't love the Carrera T because it's a turbo, but I haven't driven one. So, yeah, I mean, it's such a cool car, and too bad you can't. Soon, at some point, we'll be able to buy those, and get them at reasonable prices. But for now, to get an allocation of them is super, super difficult. Let's see.
Are you going to change the front grille on the G80 into a tune?
Yeah, I'm doing a Daler piggyback, and then I'm not going to send the ECU to Russia or anything like that. And Daler piggyback, and then I'm doing the gloss black Vorsteiner grills. And then Adro, I've been talking to Adro about it, so maybe. Let's see. I have a crappy on-wall vacuum and want the Cox reel and hose. Can I buy that now and add the OG vacuum later, or should I wait and get the OG vacuum as released? No, you can buy it now, and then you'll easily be able to retrofit. Super simple. Tool Wrangler says best tool storage system, hand tools or otherwise. I think it's the Sonic foam inlays. Even in comparison, like the Hazette foam inlays, Sonic is the best. And then the new tool grid stuff is going to be great. They're going to have little 6-inch little squares. It's going to make it much better. Destination OG Cape Cod, maybe. There's a lot of places in the U.S. I need to start going to. There's lots of great places I don't know jack about that I'd probably like. What's the best way to get catless goop off my bumpers? That's tricky, man. Because with catless comes orange. And a lot of times it will change the paint color. Like on my .1 991.1, my 2016 GT3 RS was catless, and it turned the whole darn thing orange, and it wouldn't even wet sand out. So that's tricky on that. You want to be careful, knowing that you're probably going to yellow and ruin stuff when you're catless on cars, like certain cars. After trying Dreammaker, what's your take on it? I just don't like it. I mean, lots of people commented maybe I use too much of it, but as good as our drying aid is, and as good as it looks, like Dreammaker didn't seem to add anything over that. So I don't think it's for me. Ryan Porter, I bought some Dyne Audio ceiling speakers. The grills came in various colors. So I guess I have to paint them. Any recommendation to get rid of the janky cream color? The grills only come in one color, white, but they come with a paint grill, so you can either roll over them, or generally what we do is spray paint them. So you can spray paint them. So yeah, you can paint them any color you want. They're designed to be paintable. So, but yeah, like the ones at Destination OG, we painted them black, but Mike spray painted them. Matt, are you going to sell Griot's products? I don't know. I mean, I've got to make a call to them. I don't know that they're going to let me do that. I don't want to buy through distributors that I'm bigger than and have to get like 10% margin. So maybe not. I mean, the main one I want would be after trying the Rupes DA coarse foam polishes. Or DA coarse, yeah, the DA polishes, not foam polishes, but their polishes are freaking amazing. I don't know that I even care for fast correction cream. Thoughts on the Greenville trip? Super fun. I went up to Greenville, Spartanburg, Greenville. I did the one-day M School. I think the video is up now, so if you want to go check that out on the YouTube channel. And then took delivery of the G80. We took it over to my friend Richard's house, sitting in his garage until they go and pick it up. Do you like how the new M2 looks? I do. I think it's pretty cool looking. I think it's going to look great when you get all kinds of like the proper wheel size, Bryce. When you get the proper front lip, it's going to be sick.
I had a red one that just showed it.
It's going to be freaking great. What is the minimum order for Black Friday shipping? It's $200. Jason D, you're not getting me into that political discussion. Kevin Nicken says, I'm about to graduate college. Should I take a low-intensity job and build my own business at night, or go for an intense, all-in day job? I think you have to, and it's probably a hard answer to give yourself. Are you an entrepreneur or not? You know, are you selling stuff in elementary school, or are you detailing cars on the side? And detailing is a tricky thing, if you were a detailer, because it can kind of lure you into thinking you're an entrepreneur when you're really just a service provider. If you're a detailing entrepreneur, you're going to think bigger than just polishing people's cars as a labor-intensive job. So I would be inclined to be great at whatever job you take. So I would take a job that requires all of your attention. And then if you get really good at any job outside of like labor-intensive jobs, you can generally make it work on efficiencies, and then you get bored and you need to supplement that with some other stuff. So I'd be inclined to get the job, go all in on the job, or if you know you're an entrepreneur, then I guess just take a job just to pay the bills, which I think would be hard for most OG types to do. It's funny, I was listening to or watching, or I read some of the comments. We put a tour of Destination OG. Pan and I took a tour of the house, and so to hear like a different perspective from non-OG followers. And I say this often, I say us or our type. And when a average or like a bystander hears that, they hear rich, right? They hear elite. When I'm talking about our type, it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with somebody who returns their cart at not at Walmart, because we wouldn't go to Walmart, but at the grocery store, at Publix or at Kroger. It's a person who denibs their tires. It's a person who pursues excellence in essentially everything they do. Yeah, it's a mentality. And so when I say us or we, I'm talking about that, and that has nothing to do with money. You can be flat broke. You can be a high school student with nothing and be one of us. So I think that you have to ask yourself, who are you? What do you know about yourself as a graduating, college student? What is your path? What do you think your path is at this point? And if it's a screaming entrepreneur, then you would take a different path than somebody like I didn't know I was an entrepreneur, and I did pretty great at the jobs I had. Have you had a chance to try Geon Synchro Evo? I've heard it may be better than CSL EXO. I have not yet, but we'll get a hold of it. I suspect it probably lasts a little longer, but I don't know that it's going to be as slick, which I'm not sure I would love that, but I need to get some to try. Have you sold a lot of the M18 polishers since your video going all electric? Can you look up how many Milwaukee M18 polishers have we sold here recently? Bryce will look that up for me. What product would you use on the paint for protection shine other than a ceramic coating? I mean, there's so much good stuff now, like spray on sealant, silicon dioxide. I would still have a tendency to wax it if I wasn't going to do a coating. So I'd still have an affinity for, like Swiss Vax Concorso or the old tried and true PowerLock Plus topped with Culinite. I still have that in the store for that reason. So I'd be inclined to do that. I just don't love spray-on silicon dioxide coatings.
Just polishers alone, both of them were over 20 just the last 90 days. Just polishers alone, not even packages.
Yeah,
So
Yes. Yeah, so we've sold a few dozen, I would think, since the video came out the other day. But I'm telling you, the transition to electric or not electric, cordless, battery powered is here. I felt for the first time, I felt good about the ability to be able to just polish the car with all cordless stuff. Let's see. What's the other 4-seater performance car options you would consider besides the G80? I mean, the Panamera, but the Panamera's kind of ugly and a lot of freaking money. I mean, the M2 is technically a 4-seater. It's just a little tight. I mean, the M2 would be the one. M5 for sure, So they're all BMWs. Yeah, I mean, I would look into some older stuff like the E90 M3. I mean, Audis are great, especially if you need all-wheel drive. But Audis, you're bored out of your mind, and they look great, they sound great, they're super fast, but it's that freaking understeer that kind of makes it numb. Let's see. Thoughts on the E92 335 IS? I always loved that car, especially in Le Mans. But it's the N54, isn't it? So I'd rather not have that. Did Chris leave? No, Chris did not leave. He is not here today. He is on vacation. But no, Chris is here. Chris is good. And but we're looking to push Chris is looking to chase things that he enjoys doing most, and the controller aspect of things is not his favorite, and so we're looking for somebody to work with Chris to help the sort of take some of that weight of the running the business side of things.
The Lexus LS500, that's a fun force.
Get out of here. No. Would you consider giving away a 997 turbo cab manual? Definitely not. That's like the triple whammy. Turbo, no. Yeah, turbo, and so I guess the manual will be fine, but the convertible, definitely not. No one should have a convertible in a 911. People always say that because they have this great idea. I buy or I give away their car and give them half the money. That's a real that's everybody's genius idea. No thanks. Let's see. I bet Matt. What's Yoshi saying here? I bet Matt is absolutely elated at some free entry letter grant he hasn't won yet. Yeah, tell me about it. The only advantage if the tennis ball Walker Granny wins, I could probably offer like a couple hundos.
Yeah,
I'll give you 25 G's right now if I can keep the car. And then sell it, or keep it. That would be freaking cool. Since you were a Honda guy, FK8 or FL5 Civic Type R, I don't really love any of the Civic Type R stuff. Even the old ones, even the old hatch, I never really liked those. A91 Supra, they now have the manual option, but again, if I'm going to do a Supra, I think I'd rather have the M2. Faster, better. Yeah. Thoughts on the off-road Porsche buggy-looking car? I don't like that crap. I think it's freaking stupid. Buy a freaking truck. I don't like any of that. The Safari stuff. Let's see. Chris Dodge, Super Chat, $2. How would you build wash bay without built-in drainage? A couple of things you could consider doing is, like I do this often where I wash the car with 2 wheels out, 2 wheels in. And I can usually do that most of the time of the day. And if you have Swiss tracks and the water kind of drains out. The other thing you could consider doing is if you didn't do like Swiss tracks flooring, you can always just squeegee it out. There's also like some of those things like people use in California to reclaim the water. You can consider doing that. But generally I just do a wheels in, wheels out, or especially in the winter, you could just you could always just let it evaporate, and freaking water will suck out of the floor super fast. So you can just wash even without a drain, and usually the water will take care of itself. Happy birthday, John. Oh, another super chat. Let me go back up here. Improved Garage. Hey, Matt, wish I won, but got some giveaway stuff anyway. I have the new grit guards on the way. I'll let you know how they fit in your buckets. Thank you. Thank you, sir. G-Technic G1 or Wolf's. I don't like the G-Technic coatings on glass. Especially, I don't like G1 at all. Let's see here. Let me go back up top here. Detail washing question. Foam, dry, then rinse, or rinse first like always. Pros and cons. I don't think so. To me, foaming is not so much about cleaning. And if you're using a pH neutral soap, you're not cleaning jack. You're cleaning very, very little. So the lion's share of what you're going to get off of the surface is in the rinse before foam part. Now, if you're going to start using, and maybe my mind will be changed as I start using auto foam and whatever that other Built Hammer stuff is. I've used lots of snow foams, but in my brain tells me that a snow foam is going to degrade the surface level protection. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep and maintain my surface level protection, whether it's a drying aid topper or, the base coating or the, topper for the coating. So I don't want to mess with that if I can help it. And because if you have a coated car, this is where I, differ from many. If I have a coated car, then I shouldn't have to work too hard to clean it no matter how dirty it is. So the argument that I need more aggressive cleaners like bug removers and stuff like that, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't find the need to do it. So I rinse, then foam with a pH neutral soap, and then wash. And I don't rinse the foam off because a lot of people will foam dry, rinse off the foam again, and then wash. So I just don't find that necessary. Let's see. How would you Oh, yeah, we already talked about that. Let's see. Loved your podcast with Mike from Active. Oh, the James from Active. And the topic of how to raise the next generation since they will not suffer the same way you and James did. Elaborate on how you think kids should be raised. Ooh. I think with kids, I struggle with this because I'm not very intentional. I think the key with children is that you're just there for them, that you set a good example. I think you shouldn't use foul language around them. I think that you should love on them as much as you can. I think you should try to show up as much as you can. I think showing up too much might be a bit much. So I think there needs to be a bit of scarcity there to some extent. That sometimes kids have to show up at practice without you hovering over them all the time. So you have to give them some independence. I think you have to let kids play and get hurt and try things. And I do not think you need to stress out about, people are always talking about you need to teach kids about financials. I could teach a freaking kid in 15 minutes how to manage their finances, like how to get a credit card and buy a car and all. You could teach them in like a weekend. So to have to instill that in them from day one, I don't know that really matters all that much. So I just think it really comes down to if you show up, it's kind of hard to screw up as long as you're not a frickin' jerk to them, I don't really think you need to beat, have any kind of corporal punishment or anything. If you show up and you just model and be cognizant of how you speak around them, I think you can raise a pretty decent kid. Let's see. Jackson Hole Destination OG. I would freaking love that. But I think minimum Jackson Hole is $3.5 million. I don't know that we're balling hard enough for that. Are the Marilex Industry Ergo pump sprayers supposed to leak with brake busters sitting in them? I don't think so. I know that Samit has had brake buster or some other heavy APCs sitting in his for years. It should be good. Let's see. Would you consider doing a drawing for an Obsessed Garage custom garage with Sonic tool cabinets and tools? This has to be about what car costs. Yeah, so we've done 2 of those, Steve. I would like to do more of them. We've kind of been waiting for the supply chain to get under control so we can actually do it. Because in order for the garage giveaway to work, I have to give it away and go do it, and show the results, and so we haven't been able to do it in the last couple of years because we don't have anything to put in the garage. And now that the supply chain is starting to wane or get under control, we'll be able to do it soon. Senior year, about to graduate and love the OG philosophy, but have no idea what to do after high school. Where would you go? Well, I'd go to college. If you don't know what to do, college can be great. And I wouldn't preclude myself from not being able to do it. Now, there's a delicate balance here. Going to get an AA from some random place is not going to help you very much, so I wouldn't waste my time on that. I would either make a dedicated path towards something technical, go get a job, start a business, or go to real college, not halfway. So I think that if you're going to take the halfway route and you're kind of half in, half out, I think that's a freaking complete waste of time. And you want to finish whatever you start. That's going to help you more than anything when you're sitting in front of a future potential employer and you can look them in the eye and say, look, I didn't know what to do. I still don't know what I want to do, but I finished this. I finished that. I finished this. I worked for this company. I worked for that company. That has a lot of power. And you may find yourself getting a job that you're not qualified for. Maybe you don't even deserve, because that person, believes that, hey, this kid's gonna try. So, you're probably not off to a good start if you're asking me this question. To be perfectly honest with you, you need to be, I think, more decisive on things. Even if you don't know what it is, pick something and then excel at it. Even if it's pushing carts at Walmart, be the best cart pusher, because you'll be a cart pusher for about 6 weeks, and then they'll have you running the cash registers, then they'll have you running the whole team, and then they'll have you management, and then they'll have you working your way up. And then the key at that point, don't get stuck. Until you figure out what you really love, don't get stuck, and don't let your lifestyle drive you toward being the Walmart manager forever if you don't love it. You want to find something you really enjoy doing. So that would be my advice. Or come here and work in the warehouse. Move here, work in the warehouse, and we'll frickin' make you figure it out. You're not going to make a lot of money to start, but if you kill it, we'll find somewhere for you. Maybe you'll be running the warehouse. Who knows? I love Wera Tools. Destination OG, Carmel, California during Monterey Car Week. Yeah, that would be cool. Car Week, to me, I've almost gone several times and actually canceled a flight on one trip in 2018. I just don't like looking at other people's cars. And that's kind of what Car Week is about. You're missing all the stuff, the tools and cabinets and all that stuff. When can we expect content or info on the vacuum solutions? I would say in the next month or so. We just need to dedicate the time. Let's see. Saw that the price of OG tire dressing and drying aid have increased in price in a recent OG Shorts video with what look like new bottles, not Press-All. We have new bottles? I don't think so. They're just Tolco bottles. Yeah, I mean, the raw material price keeps going up and up and frickin' up. And so we just, as soon as that happens, then we just raise it a little bit. So I just had 3 cups of coffee. Let's keep this going for a while. Okay. Dreammaker is just okay, and yes, very easy to use too much. Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. What's Ken Jeeper saying? BM plus DM, Beadmaker plus Dreammaker together is magic. Maybe.
I feel like one's just there to help the other.
Just checked. Doesn't look like the video's live yet on the G80. When is that video going up?
I don't know.
Blink twice if you're a Trump guy. Why do I find that funny? If you're choosing Trump over Biden, forget it. That's a freaking no contest there. But yeah, Trump is clearly a bit of a problematic situation there. Spartanburg resident. How come you didn't come to dinner with us then, Tim? We went to dinner in Greenville the other night. Hi-Fi, ? Have you ever dabbled in tube audio? I have Rogue Audio integrated and love it. Wondering what your opinion of that brand is. I don't know Rogue Audio. I've never been a tube guy. I get it. Tube with vinyl, super cool. I'm sure I'll end up with something tube at some point. But, it's just not something I've really dabbled in. The thing that really interests me is like the Macintosh hybrid, where it has a solid state and then has a tube amplifier in one. So tubes for the high frequencies, and you sort of bi-amplify or bi-wire your speakers. That would be super cool. Let's see. Jason D says, you said you'll be hiring a business manager. When will that be posted? My family and I have been thinking about relocating to Florida. This is a role for a girl. Like I need like a powerful female, like, because this person is going to be attached to me, and I need somebody that thinks differently than me, and I need somebody that has a really good connection with all of the leaders, and so I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm looking for a very specific personality type. And since Jason's been the one asking me all about his politics stuff, I can tell you you're not the one. I can guarantee you that. So, yeah. What do you not use McKeys on? You can use it on pretty much anything. Are you changing the front end of the G80? Yep, I'm definitely doing that. With the Vorsteiner to start, and then maybe the Adro. We'll see. Is there a way to make pressure washing couplers where you don't have to pull back the top of the coupler to insert the plug, similar to S1 couplers? I think there's a few like European technologies where you can, but not anything that is like on the horizon for me. I remember you saying you were shipping a car to Boston for audio work. Why so far from my hometown? I shipped it to Boston because I have a great relationship and I love what they do with Sound and Motion in Boston. Zach says, how's the carnivore diet going? Well, to put into perspective, last night I ate a family-sized bag of Reese's Pieces in combos. So, not doing so great. Carnivore Plus is going great, but Carnivore, not so much. But I need to get it going. A local detailer in my area is offering a Turtle Wax ceramic spray coating, but you have to have your vehicle touchless washed by him for each wash, or he will void the warranty. Does that sound ideal? No. I don't know if he's trolling me, but yeah, no, that's junk. Let's see. Oh, Siggy says he's got to go. Any plans for physical stores in the next 5 years? Franchising? No, definitely not. Yeah, I'm not a physical location. I don't think that's in our future at all. Just not something I'm interested in. I live in a snow state. In really cold months, I can't wash at home because I have no way of keeping my water from freezing. Is using a pressure washer then using waterless wash after a good idea? I mean, if it's going to freeze, probably not. So you would want to manage it doing full rinseless wash. Try to get a heater in there. Has the giveaway winner been announced? Yes, it was John S. in Michigan, and I just talked to him. Let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, another super chat. Oh, yeah. Proof Garage. My Industry 1000 doesn't leak with BrakeBuster. Dilute 1-to-1. It's awesome. He's talking about the Marilex pump sprayer. Let's see. Something about a mortgage Hellcat going on here. Quattrofolio. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Let's see. Hey, I just got my microfiber and shirt order. Love the quality. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Mario Lopez, thank you. Are you hiring? Yes, for warehouse. I need a executive assistant slash business manager, and no remote. I don't do remote. Not interested in remote, and probably never will be. Let's see. Matt, hello from Kissimmee. Awesome. This is Peter's auto vlog. Do you have another open house coming soon? What do you think of the new Civic Type R? I don't love the new Civic Type R. Yeah, we'll probably have an open house. I'd say probably January. We'll do it like probably maybe to launch the giveaway or something like that, so people can see the. I was thinking about maybe we have people sort of sit down and give their take on what they think about the E36. That'd be kind of a cool video to make, where they sit on a chair. We have interview a bunch of people. Hey, what's your take on the quality of the E36? Is it something you're going to enter? So we can get different opinions, and maybe we'll find some people who say it sucks. That'd be cool. A right-hand drive. I don't like right-hand drive cars. I have no interest in that. What's your go-to workout when you only have a barbell, dumbbells, jump rope, and eco bike? Go-to would be Grace. Barbell, 235 or 245 pounds, so 135 pounds, and just do 30 clean and jerks for time. You could do some sort of Tabata with the eco bike, or some sort of Tabata with dumbbells and jump rope. But my go-to would be Grace for sure. I could do that workout all day, every day. I love that. I saw you using Improved Garage. You gotta stop spending money here, Improved Garage. You're gonna go broke on our super chats here. I saw you using the Milwaukee articulating light in the M3 exhaust video. Is it coming to the store? I don't think so. I don't love it. The LEDs on most of the Milwaukee lights are not great. So I just grabbed it because it seemed like a good idea for using there. But yeah, I don't think so. Luke Goodwin says, Swiss tracks with a bad slope and no garage drain. Is that a bad idea? No, I mean, that's basically what I have at my house here at Darlington, and it's fine. I mean, I've washed in the garage just the other day. Water sits under there, and then it evaporates. And so especially if you're up north in the winter, gosh, that water would evaporate in minutes, hours at the longest. Let's see. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate that. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Hey, Matt, I live up in the Northeast where the salt and slush melt onto the concrete in the garage and start to eat away at it. What products can I use to protect the concrete floor mat of some sort? I think what I would do, I would seal the concrete, and then use like a what's called burnishing, like a burnishing sealer, and then I would put Swiss Tracks over top of it, and then I would just rinse it out. As much on the days that it's not so cold. Let's see. Looking forward to getting my M2CS shirt. I'm in the UK, so not in a position to win, but I like merch. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Craig. I missed the first 35 minutes. Who won? It was John S. in Michigan. We talked to him. Let's see. What's the GPM of the OG garden hose? Whatever you can get out of your hose bib. So generally speaking, 8 to 12 gallons per minute would come out of, a hose bib. 6 to 12, depending on how much pressure your house has. Destin, super chat. Will the bucket package be coming, or black bucket package be permanent? Yes. Right?
I don't think we're doing that permanent.
Giveaway only.
What?
Giveaway only.
Unless
Unless you want to. But
I think we need to have that permanent. We sold a zillion of them. Let's freaking get the monies.
That changes the fact that we sold a zillion, so then we.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a proof of concept,
Remember
right?
when we visited that years
well,
ago?
the buckets were terrible.
They're still terrible.
Oh, they're still kind of splotchy and stuff. Yeah.
No, it's better.
Yeah, they were horrible before.
Like stretch marks a little bit. But
Yeah. Well, black shows everything.
can't see the dirt. No.
Let's see. I talked about the garden hose. Can you explain the Swiss Tracks with water on a garage floor without drainage? I would like to get Swiss Tracks, but I have no drain. Okay, same question. That was what Luke had super chatted me. So Swiss Tracks, if you flip the tile over and look at the bottom, so if we're talking about Rib Tracks Smooth or Rib Tracks, just regular Rib Tracks Pro, Smooth Pro and regular Pro, it has channels. So it's channeled underneath so that water can kind of snake its way out. If you don't have a lot of slope, then, the water isn't going to go very far. And you can't squeegee it out because the Swiss Tracks is, it's sitting underneath the Swiss Tracks. But I'm telling you, especially in a large shop, the water's going to evaporate. So if you're washing cars over and over and over and over again, then it's going to become a problem. But you're washing once a week, a couple cars here and there, it's not that big of a deal. You'll be fine. They'll just, again, evaporate it out, especially in the dry months. Oh boy. Yeah, Peter's going to get me going here. Matt, thoughts on the new C8 Z06? I know they are hard to get, but it might be a fun future giveaway. Peter must be new to the Obsessed Garage family here. I will never, ever own another Corvette. I did buy a C7 Z06, the worst car I've ever owned, hunk of garbage. The new C8 is the ugliest car I think I've ever built. And I think I'd rather have a Pontiac Aztek. So if that tells you. Sorry to offend 30% of the audience here, but I hate Corvettes. Matt, this is from Craig, says, with a $500 budget, what are the first items I should buy from OG? I think you should buy the car washing package, which is like $530. That's where I would start. Car washing package, then wheel cleaning package, then bucket package, then pressure washing package, then start to do some of the other stuff. So I would build my detailing arsenal first, and then I'd start working on lighting in the garage, and then flooring, and then cabinets, and then tools, and kind of go down that path. I'm struggling between Makita and Milwaukee. What is the primary benefits of Milwaukee? So I was doing the same thing. Makita was very willing to let me sell their product. Milwaukee was not. And the Makita people were just they just weren't as, they were just more receptive to talking to influencers. I can't give you any technical specifications. I don't use these tools every day. I just think that the Milwaukee product line is better. The batteries, I believe, are better. Their commitment to evolve or to evolving and continue to improve the product, I think, is second to none. And I thought that their impact, which was the most important tool to me, was the best in the market. So that was the primary reason for me choosing it. So I would highly recommend the Milwaukee choice. I'd be all in on a garage giveaway. Yeah, we'll do another one for sure. If you guys had some IT-related positions, I would be love to be a part of the OG team. We were just talking about we're probably going to need a web developer on staff at some point. Aaron Wild says, can a Mosmatic pressure washing coupler be made where you don't have to... Oh, I already answered that. I'm sure it could, but because it's under high pressure, I think you need that collar. Matt, if you like Wera and Hazette tools, Facom, yeah. I don't like Facom as much. We talked about that in the last podcast. My friend Bob up in New York, New Jersey, had all Facom tools, so I got to spend quite a bit of time with them. It was one of the first garage I designed, and Facom I think has been left behind by Hazette and some of the others. Matt Sheldon says, when can I visit Matt at OGHQ? Nailing me down is a little dicey, but you can come here anytime you want, any weekdays. You have an emergency and need a babysitter. The only people available are Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Which would you choose? Oh, Donald Trump for sure. They'll teach the kid something, and Biden wouldn't even know where he was. Macintosh is from my hometown. Let's see. Wouldn't you say the same thing? Yeah, that's what everybody would say. It'd be like Uncle Donald. He's probably a pretty good grandparent, Teach you about money and leverage and freaking cool stuff. Let's see. Oh, Tim was the one who recommended Smoke on the Water. Thanks for that recommendation. Sad you didn't show up. Did you get a hold of the winner? Yes, we did. Have you tried Kef's hi-fi speakers? I've sold Kef years ago at Worldwide Stereo. Kef is great. I just wasn't my favorite. Last week, some mentioning connecting 2 pressure washers. How practical would it be connect 2 Krensla 1322 TSs together? Yeah, we're on that, all over that. We're going to be doing, that's going to be a solution for sure. So Mike and I are already working on our 1322 TS dual pressure washer setup. So I don't know why I never thought about it. Maybe you need a dedicated HR person if you just made that statement on a recorded video. This is true. Yeah. What is the description of the business manager role? Assuming I'm a strong female. I'm looking for business manager is, I think, partly appropriate, but I'm looking for somebody who understands what and has experience as an executive assistant. And an executive assistant really is a business manager. So, when a lot of people think executive assistant, they think just secretary. Not that there is such a thing as just a secretary. That's a hard job, especially for working for someone like me. Nailing me down is like nailing Jello to the wall. Yeah, it's like it's like trying to train a cat to do anything, right? And so I'm looking for somebody who has life experience, somebody very confident. Somebody that can sort of distill as our organization gets bigger, my messaging gets diluted because I don't have a direct personal relationship as deep as like when Bryce and I first started. It was me and Bryce doing everything. It was me and Chris doing everything. And so as the company gets bigger and we have siloed roles and we have leadership and different layers of leadership, that messaging, that ability to have those one-on-one relationships becomes more and more difficult. And if I'm all over the place, my time becomes more and more valuable and less available. So having somebody to manage all of that, and that's why there's the sort of the business manager aspect of things becomes so important. And so I'm looking for somebody who has life experience and somebody who has done this sort of thing before, because this is a role that I don't know how. It's not like I can teach the person how to do it. I need somebody to teach me how to live a proper life, and so I'm looking for that level of a human that really understands how to do that. And so I'm looking for somebody who comes and can take on that role. They'd be doing a lot of HR work, a lot of onboarding of new employees, also managing me and my schedule, managing the incoming correspondence, the outgoing correspondence, making sure I'm responding to what needs to be responded to in a timely fashion and what doesn't. And then, like I said, working with the staff to create culture. So that's what I'm looking for. And again, it doesn't have to be a female, but I just have a picture in my head of who that person is. I haven't met them yet, but I think that that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. I'm planning on buying the 1322 custom install package, but I live in the Mid-Atlantic. What's a good way to winterize? So you just run the water through, and then it'll self-prime. So grab a gallon of antifreeze, and you just suck the gallon through, and that's all you would need to do to winterize it. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Tim just said that. Drain the water out, run antifreeze through it. Smart suggestion. Let's see. Gerald says, appreciate the suggestions, Matt. Near Old Hazleton, PA. Oh boy, sorry for your luck there. Let's see. Can you elaborate a little about your thoughts on 23 fiscal year not being a good one? I've always been a horrible predictor of anything, of like being able to pick an individual stock or predictor of companies. So take this for what it's worth. I'm usually not very good at this, but it sure seems to me that we're in a really unique spot in history, right? So we've gone through unprecedented quantitative easing to put as much money into the supply into the system as possible. So they did that as a result of the credit-related, debt-related crisis of 2008. And the only other major, United States-driven debt-related crisis in recent history was the crash in 1929. And so, what the politicians did, what our lawmakers did, is they came in and sort of influenced the Fed and Treasury to not let a Great Depression happen again, because that theoretically is what should have happened after the 2008 2009 debt-related crisis. So they stimulated the economy and drove a historically long bull market out of the depressiveness of the 2008 crash by keeping interest rates artificially low for an extremely long period of time. Combine that with then unprecedented cash influx into the economic system, and the COVID years and the irresponsible period where they shut down righteously and then didn't the whole world didn't adjust their policy. They just doubled down on their lockdown and masking and policy that they locked down on, which was clearly not the correct, and vaccinating, which was clearly not the solution. And so you had this sort of unprecedented thing happen where we pumped tons and tons of money into an already pumped up system because of artificially low interest rates. Then you end up with another sort of perfect storm where lots of people weren't working. So you're pumping money into the system. People aren't working, and you're giving those people money and incentivizing them to leave the labor force on paying disability out and paying out long-term unemployment benefits, combined with many areas of the country. The commercial real estate owners and residential real estate owners of the world were required to let people live for free. So they're getting paid, they're not paying their bills, and you've pumped tons and tons of the money into the system, both to corporations through the PPP packages, as well as in the $600 checks that cut. That was short-term inflationary, but I don't buy how that creates a long-term inflationary issue. The bigger inflationary issue is giving money to people like me through large stimulation, and then I was able to hire lots of people from easing on taxes were low and things like that. So you have all this perfect storm of creating a massively inflationary environment. And so in 2023, we're going to start to feel the pain of diesel being $5.50 a gallon, and much, much more than that throughout other areas that are higher tax areas like California, of course, Europe. I think we're going to have a really sort of odd-looking winter throughout the world, in that they've also, another perfect storm is making fossil fuels the devil prematurely. And so you put all this stuff together, you have inflation combined with tons and tons of layoffs, tons and tons of unemployed people, an inability to lower interest rates to help re-stimulate, because they've got to continue to raise interest rates to keep inflation under control because of the lack of supply of things, combined with massive shipping to we're going to have a pretty significant, I think, reset in the world, in that lots of things need to be culled, need to be failed. It's like pruning a tree. This is how the macroeconomics works, in that you essentially prune the tree, and then the new branches grow better. And so theoretically, that should have happened in 08, 09, and they should have let the bad banks fail. But they couldn't do that because of the potential, massive collapse of society, if you will. Or they deemed that it wasn't possible. So I think 2023, 2024, 2025, I think that this recessionary environment turns into a decade-long cyclical bear market. And if you look at historical trends, you have these cyclical bull and cyclical bear markets, where you'll have like the late 1960s through 1982 was or we call it a secular bear market. Was just there's basically no return on equities during that whole time period. So you had just high interest rates, a poor economic environment, lots and lots of people unemployed, lots of people scrapping, lots of crappy companies failing, and lots of great future companies emerging. And so I think that in order for us to dig out of this, they're going to have to raise interest rates to really, really high levels to rein this thing in. And they're going to be doing that while lots and lots of companies are laying off, and it's going to be pretty nasty. So that's where innovation becomes so important for us, that we have to continue to innovate and create value for people, because not everybody will be effective equally. And so that's my take on 2023, and it's all based on this, probably improper spending and monetary policy that now we're going to have to repent for. So we had overly good years, and now we're going to have likely overly bad years because we've got to pay for that overly good period. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the lack of demographic support of jobs, there are 2 applicants for every job that's being posted in the U.S. or more, depending on what area you're in. So hopefully that will help insulate us largely, and that we won't end up into a deep recession because people will largely stay employed. Doesn't do you any good, though, to be employed and have your prices of things run away from you 8, 9, 10, 12% increase every year when your salary can't increase because companies are losing money. So it's a potentially tricky time coming up here. So let's see. What's Ben say? Never sure if YouTube is eating my messages or not. We'll try one more time with a better explanation of my giveaway idea. Let's see. You didn't like the Carbon 65? No, I did not. It was a horrible car. Matt will come around to Corvettes. He just hasn't had his midlife crisis yet. This is untrue. Nick Rogers. Sorry, I missed. I did Luke. Oh, no, Luke had another question. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Luke. Thought it would mold. I mean, you're going to pull up your Swiss Tracks. You're talking about the Swiss Tracks flooring and water under it. Yeah, you might get some mold, but generally it's going to evaporate before that's an issue. And you're going to pop the tiles up once a year or so and go, spray them with some APC and blow them off anyway. So Brandon Duke was saying, is a membership page down? Oh, membership? It's up?
It was down.
Oh.
It's up.
What does Dustin Rogers $4.99? Thank you, sir. What does the competition package add to the E92? Wondering if it's worth it to me. I know wheels and carbon roof, but anything else. So the carbon roof was not part of the competition package. The carbon roof was there as a standard option. Unless you optioned a sunroof, you would get the carbon roof. So competition package is on the E92 was the M359 wheels. It was different springs, so the car was, I believe, 20 millimeters lower. It was so those are the main 2 things that the comp package added. I don't believe comp package had any power difference on the E92. I'm pretty sure it was the same. Let's see. When I don't have Chris to shut me down here, I just keep going. Any chance you would ever build a Gen 5 Viper? Probably not.
It's 10 millimeters.
What? Is it 10? Yeah, 10 millimeters. I knew it was something like that. Wasn't there a third thing?
A specially developed sport mode for the EDC.
That's right. Yeah. So it had the an extra EDC function for the spring change. Let's see. Smash that like button. Freaking stupid. Ugh, I hate that. Come up with your own saying. If I'm going to ask people to click that like button thingy down there, I'm going to come up with something clever. How was your first time playing Magic the Gathering? From Mike Tugeline, who happens to be standing in front of me here. Well, I dominated, as you might have imagined. Now, Ed did stack my deck with like a force that was unbeatable, but it's pretty freaking stupid. But I could see how it seems really, really complicated, but I could see how you could figure it out in a few times, playing it. But yeah, I would rather have an arm wrestling tournament or something than play Magic the Gathering. So here at OG, we're doing some culture-related gatherings, and I happened to be there coding my car. So I accidentally accepted the invite to Magic the Gathering on my calendar, so everybody was all excited. And then I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I just clicked yes to everything. It's just so it goes on my calendar. And then I was finishing coding the E36 while they were getting set up, and I said, well, if I get this done, then I'll play. And then I was really freaking hungry, and I see they're all negotiating on ordering. Like Ed's like, well, I'm gonna order 2 slices of pizza, and then they're all arguing over who's gonna order what. I said, well, if I'm playing, I'm freaking ordering. So I ordered a smorgasbord of delicious Flippers pizza. And then I proceeded to annihilate Kyle, Nick, and Hushan. Yeah, but I realized about halfway through that annihilation that Ed had given me a stacked deck of all the same green cards or whatever. But yeah, it's a weird. It's for freaking nerds, clearly.
We're having another thing later today too.
Yeah, so we're doing somebody better be in charge, not messing up my crap. But they're doing a wash and whatever tonight. So I need to go to the gym. What do you think about Costco microfiber? It's junk. Don't do that. It's a cheap 80-20 and sometimes 90-10 towel. So yeah, you don't want that. Just the Rag Company towels are cheap enough that you can do those. Yes, John called back. Matt, do you miss working in wealth management? Absolutely not. Matt for president. Yeah, I agree. I should start to get into politics. I'd lose though because I'd always just tell it like it is. I think there's an opportunity for that though in the future of somebody who tells it like it is. Nick Rogers, how did I miss this? Love my 8P2, but my local roads suck. Can't swing a decent E92 yet. Missing my STI immensely now that it's snowing. Start tracking or sell. It sounds to me like you're reaching for expensive cars, but you're not quite there yet. Well, maybe I'm reading into that a bit too much, but yeah, I mean, I don't think the S2000 is a great track car, so I'm just not a huge fan of that option. How did I miss some other questions here? Yeah, I mean, the STI would be the car, I think. But, I mean, that's a thing. Those things break a lot, don't they? So you got, relatively...
you don't be stupid with it, usually.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't go crazy, jack and boost up and stuff. Will the Flex Vacuum cleaning accessory kit on the OG site work with other vacuums? Does the Flex use a unique diameter? I think it's pretty unique. So we're going to figure all that out for you, so stay tuned. Winner was from Michigan, and Matt won't drive a Corvette because he won't own a pair of New Balance shoes. This is correct. Matt Farah wears New Balance. What's the deal with Matt Farah and that hideous pink boxer spider? Yeah. Did you see that thing? Yeah. It's pink with red interior, and he paid extra for that. What was he thinking? Is that for his
car? It's going to be rare because no one optioned it. That's that car.
It was PTS, right?
Yeah, but why would he do that? It's hideous. It's like one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen in my life. Did I miss something there? What am I missing? Yeah.
It's that California thing.
Let's see. The winner was from Michigan. I said that a bunch. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to rag on Matt, but what is he thinking with the red interior is hideous on like a regular, because the whole dash and everything, there's just too much red. So yeah, I don't.
It reminds me of like the terracotta interior
on
the 996s.
All right, Richard just said got a call from the car haulers. Looks like they're shooting for this weekend or Monday. Said they will let me know. They're coordinating with a car they're moving. Sick. That's awesome. So we'll have the G80 here real soon. Let's see. Oh, Peter's Vlog. Matt, long-time subscriber and fan. And yes, I knew your dislikes of the Corvette. He's just freaking busting my balls. Yeah, sure enough. Funny, I drove an Aztec not too long ago to review. Okay, so he did. He's just freaking trying to get me going there. Next, Wash and Talk will be with Dungeons and Wizards, Dragons and Wizards. I'm down with all people. Nerds, jocks. I can get along with anybody.
As long as you have fun, right?
Yeah. I'm down with anything. I have like a special affinity for certain awkward people, and I don't know. I'm a man of the people. What can I say? Maybe I am a politician here, except for the people that the people that don't like you saying the price of things. Dave Ramsey says getting car loans are stupid. Thoughts? I disagree 100%. But cars for the average non-car person is stupid, right? But car loans for those where it's your passion, and a lot of times you can meet your next business contact. So he's trying to create some simple rules to live by. And yes, you should not be going out and leveraging your future. For me, if I didn't get car loans, I wouldn't have a freaking global business that we're building here. It just wouldn't happen. So, it's easy for me to argue, and it'd be easy for many others to argue. But I don't think it does you. There's a balance there, but it doesn't do you any good to save every penny and then you retire at 70 and you die. And you didn't get to do anything you loved. Matt, did you see the Stoner's glass coating at SEMA? It's probably junk. I just freaking. Yeah, I can probably guess that it's not going to be any good. Let's wrap this up here. In your opinion, can a naturally non-entrepreneurial type learn to become comfortable with becoming an entrepreneur? I'm looking for a change from my long-term 9-to-5 and know inside of me I can do better. I'd say generally, I don't want to burst your bubble here, but I would say generally not. I think you got it or you don't. And now you may not know unless you try. Not try, do, unless you go for it. Try implies you're not really going to do it. I think that if you're not entrepreneurial, but you have just this undying love for something specific that is, and most anything is monetizable if you get creative enough, if you think outside the box enough. So I think you could be non-entrepreneurial and still be a thinker of other avenues. I'll give you an example. We're at SEMA. Tommy and I are at SEMA, and there's a bank of elevators, and the elevators go. So the elevators go up. So the bank of elevators goes from floor 15 to 30 or something like that, and then the second bank of elevators goes from floor 1 to 14, but they don't connect, so that you can't take. If you're on floor, we were on floor 20. You have to go the 15 to 30. And so all of the people would just line up, and the elevators couldn't keep up with all the people going up to their floors. And for whatever reason, they booked all the upper floors. So there'd be it'd be 30 minutes. It'd be 30-minute line, like a crazy line, pictures the line of 200 people trying to go up this bank of 3 elevators. And so I'm thinking, well, why don't I go? I wonder if I could go. Now, there's a risk here, but I wonder if I can go over to bank 1 through 15, go up to floor 2, and then catch the elevator, walk. I wonder if there's a way to walk outside, because the bank of elevators are back to back, or front to front, however you want to look at it. And I was well, I wonder if I go to floor 2, which is the pool deck, could I walk out on the pool deck and then come back into the door and then go grab? I would think that they would set it up that way. Sure enough, so we took the risk. We're going to go up there. We're going to lose our place in line. And the longer we wait, the longer the line's getting. And so we're going to take the risk to go and figure out a different path. And so that path led me to take a risk of going to, go to the other elevator bank. And sure enough, I was right. So it was a calculated risk. It was a calculated decision. And then from that point on, we're the only one. I didn't see anybody else doing this hack. From that point on, every time we'd come and just look at this giant bank of a line of people, and we would just go jump on the elevator, go to floor 2, and then grab the spot on floor 2, because the thing would come to floor 2 when we'd go up. So there's a fine line there between cheating. The other way to do it would be to just pretend like you're talking to somebody and then you just go cut in line. That'd be cheating. So there's a fine line, I think, in entrepreneurship of creating a better path of something that already exists, right? So that line exists. I want to create a new line. And if people were smart, they would have followed me and gotten in line behind me and we created a new line. Or certainly as an entrepreneur, you could think about recruiting others and then maybe charging them, for that to go and, hey, I've got a system to make sure you don't have to stand in this line. Pay me $2 for that. So if you're really creative, so the part of understanding an alternative path isn't particularly entrepreneurial. That's just, thinking outside the box. The part that you need to be an entrepreneur is figuring out how to then sell it. How do you get people to leave the other line and pay you for something that probably already exists and monetize it? So that's one of those things you have to have in order for it to work. I think you have to have those two elements in order to be a more successful as an entrepreneur than figuring out inside of the corporate structure, which has much less risk, figuring out how to maximize that. And for most people, 99% of people, I mean, even if you had that combination, do you want the weight? Can you handle the weight of that? Because it's a lonely place. There's a lot of weight. So I think that you really have to consider those things as you're thinking about it. You won't know until you go and jump on the elevator and then be willing to. I was willing to say, well, I'll just go get back in line then. Or maybe I'll figure out where the stairwell is and make the choice to walk up 20 floors. So, you still roll with the GT Smokies group? Yes, I do. Is there I'll skip that one. Too many words. I'm done with words. BOA is a great bank. Too many words there. Has the winner been drawn? Yes. Guy in Michigan won. Something about Actives 2.0 and their Adams upgrade kit is going to be weak. So I'm going to try to talk Adams into buying our stuff. Anyway, so congrats to John. I'm going to call him now and figure out the logistics. Congrats to me because the G80 is going to be delivered here soon, which is awesome. And also thank the Lord that somebody in northern British Columbia didn't win, or Hawaii didn't win the car, because now I can maybe go out to dinner this weekend and at Chipotle or something like that, instead of having to eat what's all that stuff that Jeff eats? Vienna sausages. Yeah. Vienna sausages and Gatorade. Yeah, and have to drink water, not Gatorade. So anyway, thanks for all of you that participated. Stay tuned for the next giveaway starting January 12th. We're going to break the internet with that one. And DeSantis Mormon 2024. I'm announcing my candidacy right now. If I get the call, I might have to make a few less YouTube videos because I'm running for president. So thanks for everybody for being here, and we'll see you next week.